One of the great things about real estate is it's an asset that you can insure, right? Go buy a set of stock, go buy a few shares of stock, and then really go to your insurance broker and go, hey, I'd like to put some insurance on that thing. So no, you can't. It's a little tricky. Now there's some high level kind of things that you can do if you're very sophisticated, but no, look, you can't really just insure that against loss. If the stock price goes down, are you going to get a payment in the mail? No, absolutely not. But one of the benefits of investing in real estate is you can secure your asset against loss. And that's very comforting when you're thinking about a long-term gain in retirement. So I've even met people that said, well, I don't really insure all my rental properties and everything. That's just too expensive. I'm like, well, are you crazy right now? So what if a tornado comes through and rips your house down? What are you going to do? You just lost all that money. But no, it's a wonderful thing. And so I've had over the last 30 years several times where I was so thankful that I had my property insured and insured properly. And it's all about building the team. We've talked about this before in other segments where, hey, look, you got to have a good team around you. CPA, attorney, maintenance guy, I own a plumbing company, so plumbers, right? Good stuff. One of those key people on your team should be a great insurance agent. And so good key player on your team. But let's just take, for instance, I had one time where, bless her heart, was a little young lady. I think she was about 11 or 12 years old, latchkey kid, staying at home. Mom was at work, and I get a phone call from the fire department. Mr. Lafferty, this is the fire department. Everybody's okay. And she had been cooking on the stove and had a grease fire in the apartment. And of course, torched the cabinets. She got out safely. The neighbor ran over and put the fire out. But smoke damage just absolutely everywhere. And so it was a 2-story unit. And so all the smoke rose up into the second level. And it was a very short-lived fire. It didn't last but just a few minutes. And really the only physical damage was right there above the stove. But of course, we had to go and pretty well gut the apartment because of all the smoke damage. And of course, if the fire department had come in and had to put out the fire, there'd be all the water damage on top of it. And so just a real problem. But the insurance company, I had to pay a deductible and all those kind of things. But the insurance company paid to put the apartment back, to clean everything up and to replace the kitchen cabinets and the flooring and all those kind of things. And I would have been out thousands and thousands of dollars. But because I had that insurance coverage, hey, look, that took care of everything. So there's no reason not to have good insurance coverage on your property. And I probably wouldn't have even known that except for I had great mentors as I came along. And so as you're going through your real estate investing journey, you need great mentors to teach you things like this, to make sure you understand the pros and cons about these decisions, to make sure that you protect your assets in the future. So a second example, which I think is pretty humorous because as I get older, my mind tends to think like this. But I had a tenant and she had gone upstairs in her townhome, started the bathtub running to take a bath. And then in her absent-mindedness, got distracted and ended up going to the hospital to visit her son that was in the hospital and forgot to turn off the water to the bathtub. So meanwhile, when she returned from the hospital, there was a waterfall rolling down the steps of her apartment. And so I forget things all the time. One day, maybe I'll forget and I'll leave the bathtub running. But thankfully, we had a flood, right? Water everywhere, stuff floating in the hallway. But thankfully, the insurance came in and said, hey, look, not a problem. You're going to pay your deductible, but we will replace the flooring and all those kind of elements and get it all dried out, get the dehumidifiers in there. Restoration companies are expensive. So to get dehumidifiers and fans and all that kind of stuff to get in there and get the place put back together, and all it cost me was a deductible, which is just a minor little piece compared to the thousands of dollars worth of damage. So just another example of why to pay for that insurance. Just such an important thing as part of your real estate investing tool belt. So at Branch Wealth Partners, we actually help our mentees go from cautious to confident, to learn from other people, to help grow through the use of mentors, and take advantage of all these fun stories that I've built up over the last 30 years. But if you want to take advantage of that, or even just buy my book, And so here it is. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jessica, for delivering that book to me. A lot of the stories that I just told in here are in this book. So get it at Author House or Amazon, Rentertainment, Tales of a Landlord, just funny, funny times. So get a copy of this or sign up for some mentorship, and I'll give that back to Jessica and join us at Branch Wealth Partners.